everyone. Welcome back to Local Ag, your spot for everything Bedford County Ag. It's July 9th, 2026. I'm your host, Dorothy McIntyre with the Bedford County Agricultural Advisory Board, and today is the 23rd episode. A big thanks to Media Squatch for making our Local Ag podcasts a great part of our community. Today we're sitting down with the faces behind Roamin Ranch, a fantastic family and veteran-owned farm right here in Montvale on Dickerson Mill Road. They're raising everything from goats to pasture-raised poultry, hogs, beef, cattle, and more. All this dedicated to high-quality meats. Welcome, Megan and Lewis. Do you go by Lewis or Lou? Half the time I hear Lou.
My wife calls me Lou. Everybody else calls me Lewis. So I know when I'm in trouble.
Yeah. That's a classic there. So we know each other from the farmers market, and I'm so excited that you've been part of the market. What I'd like to know, if you could tell me a little bit about how you came up with the name Roamin Ranch.
So actually, my wife came up with it. We have been married 28 years, and we've spent a lot of that time moving around with my job. So, I did 20 years in law enforcement, and then after that, I went to U.S. Forest Service. So we've moved around quite a bit. And so when we got here, my wife said, "I'm done moving." So she said, "I'm going to call it Roamin Ranch. We're done roaming." So that's how the name came about. So it's
so collaborative a little bit, or was it all you, Megan?
I think it was pretty much all me.
There you go. Yeah. Too many moves.
Yes.
Right. So, all right. So thank you for your service. You Marines?
I was in the Marines for 7 years. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your service. So, I'd love to know the journey from Marines to local law enforcement to forestry, and how did you come to farming with all that background?
Well, I grew up in West Virginia, and I grew up on a farm. My grandfather raised draft horses, and so I guess farming and all that is in my blood. My wife, she grew up in Pennsylvania, and she grew up around horses, and I guess we've all gravitated to the farm. Even though we moved around so many times, every place but Alaska, we had a farm.
Did you really?
Yes.
Wow.
So we've always been in the farming business or some shape or form. Our daughter was a barrel racer with horses. And so, we've done a little bit of everything. But I started in West Virginia. I joined the Marines. And after I got out of the Marines, I started in law enforcement. And then towards the end of my law enforcement career, I met my wife, and we got married, and I got a job with the U.S. Forest Service. And one of my jobs with the Forest Service was a firefighter. So I got to go out west in the summers and fight a lot of fires, and then met a lot of neat people doing that. And with that, I got to see different parts of the country. So we decided we would start moving around. And, we took a job in West Virginia, and then I transferred to Louisiana, and then we transferred to California.
Oh, my goodness.
And then to Alaska. And then we wanted to retire here back in Virginia, where we all started. So when the job came open, I transferred back to Virginia, and this is where we actually retired.
Okay.
My wife's been so wonderful in being, transferring and starting new jobs and ending new jobs and starting new jobs. So I just can't say enough about her. She's just been so wonderful being by my side and doing that career with us. And our kids got to see a lot of the world, or a lot of the country.
You were able to show the kids the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time they didn't like it, but I think now they look back at it, they see a lot of that life experiences that they received. And as a matter of fact, our son just told us a couple of weeks ago, he said, "I'd like to move back to Alaska," because he's here in Virginia.
Okay.
So it did have some impact on him, and we enjoyed moving around. And when we got here, it's kind of a funny story. I came down earlier from Alaska because she still had to finish out her teaching agreement. And we looked around at farms here, and we must have spent 2 weeks looking at farms. And eventually, she saw this one farm, and it said they raise Gypsy Verner. And
what's that?
It's a type of horse.
Okay.
And she always loved those type of horses. She said, let's go down and look at the horses. And when we pulled in the driveway, she said, this is it. I was like, well, it's a little above our budget, but and we talked to the people and they worked with us and we ended up buying the farm. But it was the very last farm we looked at before she was supposed to go back to Alaska.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. So you enjoyed this part of the area then?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So nice. That's pretty interesting. So did you look outside of Bedford County, or was Bedford County kind of like ground zero for you that you wanted to be in this area?
We actually looked in all the way up to Lewisburg, West Virginia.
Did you really?
Yeah, down into Appomattox area. We had an idea of what type of farm we wanted, and we just couldn't find it. And it just, I believe that, God directed us to that farm.
You get on that land and it's just like, this is it.
Yes.
We did that with the land, not the house.
It was even more important that the wife liked it. So
yeah. Now you still have horses though, right?
I do. Yes.
How many horses do you have?
We have 3 on the property, 2 donkeys.
Do you ride them still? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. You ride too?
No.
Lewis? No.
I grew up on horse farms, so they're just hay burners to me.
Yeah. See, my husband he had horses growing up and he's like, no, never doing it again. So looking on your social media, you mentioned that you have a commitment to raising clean animals, which is what you raise basically at the farm with additional value-added products.
Correct.
Tell me about why you want them to be clean animals and how do you achieve that?
Sure. There's a little story on that. In West Virginia, when we lived there and we had a farm, we actually had a USDA poultry processing facility on our farm. Mm-hmm. And before we opened that, we went around and we went to like the Amish and they taught us how to do the chicken and the poultry and stuff like that. And then we went to a big producer, and I didn't like the way the major producers process their meat. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'll say about that. But it drove us to wanting to raise our own meat. So we started out just raising our own meat. And then so many friends came to us and said, can we buy some? Can we? So we've kind of turned it into a business. But to us, it's important to raise the animals, humanely, mm-hmm. Like, for example, this hot weather we just had last week, we put fans out on our meat chickens just to keep them cool. So, I mean, it's important that you treat the animals correctly so that they provide what, they should provide for us. And, it's very important that we put into like everything we produce as if we're going to put it on our own table.
Yeah. As you say, everything you produce. So you have all this meat with the goats and the chickens and the hogs. But I also know some of the other things that you do, like the shagbark syrup and the maple syrup. That's unique to this area. There are people, but usually it's higher up in the Shenandoah Valley. Did you do this in other areas where you were living, or was this something new here?
Well, when I grew up in West Virginia, my uncle tapped maple trees, and I remember a fond memory from childhood of setting up all weekend and cooking off maple sap to maple syrup. So we were kind of blessed when we drove around the farm and we found all these old, large sugar maples. And so, what was it, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we started tapping them, and we made some last year just for us. And then this year we started making some to sell. But we have about 50 maple trees on our farm, and they produce a lot of, this year was kind of a unique year. We only had 1 week of harvest. Usually you have about 3 weeks.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's based on the weather. It's got to be below freezing at night and above freezing during the day for the sap to run. And we only had like a week of that this year. So we didn't produce as much as we did the year before that. But
although it is very delicious. We use it all the time right now. And hopefully you have some so we can tell people where they can get it.
We still have a couple gallons left of this year. So, and then I make what's called hickory bark syrup, which it's made from the shag hickory tree, and you make it into a tea, and then you cook it down and add. Now that's the only thing it has sugar added to it because it doesn't have sugar in the natural. Like maple syrup has sugar in the sap.
Yeah.
the hickory bark doesn't have a sugar in it, so we do add sugar to that. And I love it as a coffee creamer. She eats it on her ice cream. So
That's a good one to think about. Yeah. Along with that, you also have a market garden that you've been producing from too. So, and you do some value added. You're doing some baking, Megan.
A little bit, yes.
That the zucchini bread seems to go pretty well at the market.
Yes, seeing we have an overabundance of zucchini.
Yeah. So, all right. Let me think about what else we can talk about. Now there is a specialty that you make for the Thanksgiving, Christmas time. I'd love to hear about how that came about and how people can get obtain that or reserve that for this season. So tell me about the turduckens that you make.
So that's a unique story. Like I said, we lived in Louisiana, and turducken is a traditional Louisiana dish. And what a turducken is, a lot of people hear it and they go like, "What is a turducken?" And it's a deboned chicken inside a deboned duck inside a semi-deboned turkey, and then it's combined and it's baked together. So almost all of it is deboned meat. And if you've ever had a duck is kind of an oily meat, so it gives moisture to the rest of the meat.
Okay.
And when we were in Louisiana, we tried one, and we've never had anything else for Thanksgiving since then.
Really?
It's just such a unique and amazing tasting animal.
Now, is there stuffing inside the chicken, or is it just all the meat?
So a true Louisiana turducken has stuffing in it.
Okay.
I don't put stuffing or seasoning in it just because when I made them for friends, they want to add their own seasoning, their own stuffing. So that way you can make it your own unique thing. But the traditional Louisiana dish does have stuffing, and it also has Cajun spices in it. The one I make, it's just meat.
Okay.
And then, you cook it, or we smoke ours, and it just seals in that flavor. And, I made it probably 10 years ago for Thanksgiving, and everybody comes over and goes, "Oh, you got to make one for me." So I've been making them unofficially, for years now. So this is the first year we're going to offer them for sale.
So this is the first year that you're going to, you're doing reserves, I guess.
Correct.
You have to,
yeah, they're pretty time consuming, deboning
I couldn't
all
even imagine
everything. So
chicken thighs for me take a little while. Doing an entire turkey and chicken and duck would be crazy.
So we're taking reservations, and we'll deliver them, like the week or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. They will be frozen.
Okay, I was going to ask, are they fresh or frozen?
Yep, they'll be frozen. I got a person that's going to a farm that's going to provide the ducks, and then we raise the chickens and the turkeys.
Wow, yeah. I was going to ask you how many have you made in the past then?
Oh my, I probably made a couple hundred in the
For
past.
real?
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
It seems to grow every year.
Okay.
I have a friend out in Utah that I have to mail one to him. So I met him on fire, and we made one on fire one time, and he goes, "I won't eat anything else." So,
wow.
So I mail him one every year.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So on your social media also, you talk about how you prioritize the farm connection. And I know that you're at the farmers markets. Do you open up the farm to anybody that they could come to the farm, see the farm, and pick up product at the farm? Or is it just solely at the farmers market at this point?
No, we have a lot of people that come to the farm and buy stuff from us. Due to biohazards, especially with poultry, with avian flu, we don't give farm tours. I mean, driving down our driveway, you can see the animals.
Right.
But a lot of people want to show up and go, "Well, take me out, let me hold the ducks or the chickens or whatever." And you have to be careful because we have a closed herd. So I don't give any antibiotics. I don't give any medication to any of my animals. Everything is natural.
Okay.
It's not certified organic because we've never went through that process.
Sustainable is the word that we like to
there
use
you
instead
go,
of the organic word.
But we have a lot of people that come to the farm. They'll email or call me and say, "Do you have this?" And we'll get the order ready for them. And when they pull up, we'll give them,
And they can see everybody outside the fence.
Oh, yes.
Just not inside the fence.
Yeah, we have about a quarter-mile driveway that's
beautiful driveway.
Yeah, so there's tons of animals on both sides. So.
Yeah. And you also, I think you sell some of the pullets. Is that right?
We do. We've raised laying chickens for a couple of years now and sell. I think we have Rhode Island Reds and Black Sex-Links right now that are almost ready to
I was going to say they're available right now if somebody wanted to purchase them.
Sure do.
That's great. That's great. So how do people get connected to you if they wanted to come over to the farm or find you at the farmer's market?
Sure. So we are on Facebook. My wife does TikTok videos all the time. I love those. So a lot of people have been enjoying those too. Our number of followers have increased. I think that's what they call it. I'm not a very tech savvy person. So, but you can email us or you can call us. Our phone number is 540-9309-6957.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook, and just reach out to us.
There it is. That sounds great. Let me see what else I have here. So this was a quick one, but I guess it's because we know each other.
Yes.
I don't know, but you're at the Bedford Farmers Market on Saturday mornings, and that's 8 to 1 or 8 to noon.
It's 8 to noon.
And Manita Farmers Market also. That's on Wednesdays, 8 to noon. Anywhere else? Are you in any of the small shops or anything, or just at the farm at this point?
Just at the farm right now. It's we having a hard time sometimes keep up with the orders we have now. We haven't really.
That's a great thing to have a problem with.
It is, especially the chicken. A lot of people love the chicken we produce, and
now which type of chickens do you raise?
we do the Cornish crosses.
Okay.
And a lot of people have had problems with the Cornish crosses, with the leg problems and stuff, and we've kind of created a thing that keeps them walking. And as long as you can keep them walking, you don't have as many leg problems.
Okay.
So, a lot of people call me and say, well, my chickens are doing this. And I try to explain to them, what's going on, why they're having so much leg problems. If you put the feed and the water right next to each other, they don't move.
It's just
literally, that's all they do is they eat and drink and poop. And that's about all they do. So, but we lose very few now.
Okay.
That we, compared to 20 years ago when we first started this.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is, experience, and a lot of it is reading. And, my wife, we try to use every part of the chicken too. So this is just a couple of weeks ago, she goes, we always feed the feet to the pigs. And she goes, she did some research and found out they're really good for dogs. So now we produce dehydrated chicken feet. And she researched that, peanut butter, banana, and carrot are also very good for the dogs. So we now coat some of those chicken feet with that mixture and dehydrate them. And the first thing everybody says at the farmer's market was like, well, you can't feed chicken bones to a dog. Well, the dehydration process makes them to where they don't splinter. They actually just almost go into a dust. Okay. And our daughter said, well, that's gross, feeding chicken feed to a dog. And it was kind of unusual to give it to our dogs the first time, but they loved it. I couldn't believe how much. And I have a Rottweiler that has some joint problems, and these are high in glucosamine.
Glucosamine, probably, yeah.
And it really helps their joints. So,
wow.
Yeah, he just loves them. So,
yeah. And you've gotten feedback?
Yes, we've actually sold quite a bit of them, and a lot of people their dogs really enjoy them. So,
nice.
Yeah, so it's been a good additive of trying to use everything from the chicken, and we do literally use everything from the chicken.
Yeah.
Anything that we can't make into a product, we feed it to our hogs, and they.
Yeah. And there's the chicken jerky.
Yes.
That keeps on going out fast, isn't it? And you just did a new flavor, I think?
We did 2 new flavors. We have jalapeno and teriyaki we just added, and we still have hickory, mesquite, and
whiskey pepper.
Whiskey pepper, thank you.
Whiskey pepper?
Yes.
Whiskey pepper.
Ooh.
That seems to be the biggest hot seller is the whiskey pepper. So
you really do a lot on that farm.
Well, we were just talking the other day. It's like, we retired just a year ago, and it seems like we're working harder than when we were working a full-time job and doing this. So.
Now, Megan, what's your favorite part of the farm, do you think? Or do you have a favorite?
I do. I'm the one who goes around and plays with all the animals.
I could see that. I could totally see that. But you don't name them, you said.
I try not to.
Yeah.
It's too hard when they get in that trailer and go to processing.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. That's for sure. Thank you so much for coming out.
Well, thank you for having us.
I really appreciate you taking the time to tell people about your farm and about all the different things that you do there.
And Bedford is a great place. We love Bedford, and we're glad it's our home.
Yeah. It grows on you. It's just it is a special place. The people here, the beauty of it, it's just amazing. The agriculture too.
Yes.
Hopefully you're finding other people that are doing similar things with you too.
We are. We've met a lot of great people at the farmers markets. I mean, not just the vendors. The other vendors are outstanding, but the customers, they like to come in and talk to us, and we enjoy, meeting people and getting to know the people of Bedford.
And then they keep on coming back to you.
They do.
Sure. Well, thank you again. Thanks for the interview and here on Local Ag. And it's been a pleasure learning about your agriculture endeavors and how you are bringing Bedford County agriculture directly to our community. Some ag announcements for us today. So mark your calendars. The Bedford County Fair is coming. The carnival rides, music, Old McDonald's tent will be with us. That is going to be on August 21st to the 23rd at Liberty Lake Park. I believe it starts at 4:00 each day. You'll have to check that out on their website. And then on September 5th and 6th, there will be a livestock show at the Allen Mountain Livestock Farm, I believe it's called. It's 2521 Timber Ridge Road. For more information, visit the Bedford County VAfair.org. Along with that, the farmers markets are up and running, and they are busting with both produce and meat products. Montvale has their markets on the second and third Saturdays of the month at the Old Montvale School, and they are from 8 a.m. to noon. Bedford Farmers Market is Saturdays 8 to 1 at the Centertown Pavilion. Forest Farmers Market is Saturdays 8 a.m. to noon behind the Forest Library, and Manita's Farmers Market is Wednesday 9 a.m. to noon next to the Manita Smith Mountain Lake Library. This is Dorothy McIntyre reminding you to be good to yourself and good to others.